Hi, it was a long time since our last session. I have a lot of technical issues, so I want to say sorry in the beginning. That's why this is another recorded video, not a live session as we already did before, because still have the same technical issues. Okay, so let's start. In this session, I'm going to explain how to use the RESTful APIs for Odoo, so that you can integrate maybe your mobile application, maybe another Django application, maybe another PHP application, whatever you have. You need to sync the data between them, or at least maybe retrieve the data from Odoo. Okay, so you might remember we already have this card request module. If you do not have it already, you can either build it using the previous sessions, or you can just move to GitHub employee card request. Okay, this is a URL. I will add this in the description. If I did not, of course you can find it just by moving to this URL and you will find it. Okay, so what I'm going to do today, that I will try to create another card request, but not by clicking on create and so on. No, I will assume that I have another application, maybe again might be a PHP application, maybe another Python application using Django, for example, maybe another Odoo, maybe another mobile application. So you just need to send requests to the system so that it can start whatever you want to do. Actually, it will start the procedures you need to do with your system. So for now, I have this card request. What I'm going to do right now, just to make it simple, we already created these models. I'm sure that you already know it. If you do not, please do not hesitate to check the previous videos. So we have the controllers here, which was already created using as a scaffold command. We have this a few lines. I will comment, or let's say remove the comment. Okay, so we have this URL here. Let's restart the database. By the way, this session assumes that you are having one database in your server, or at least you can specify this database here. I already added this in the edit configuration. So it's this database I'm using right now. So once it starts, it will assume card request and it will work with this database. Okay, so I already restarted this service here. Let's copy this URL. It should print hello world. Okay, so what I'm going to do, that I will my URL, it might be your domain, it might be your server IP or whatever. So we have this URL and it will print hello world. So let's do a slight change to make sure that we on the right track. So Odoo live session. Okay, restart the service. Okay, and reload. Okay, so it seems that we are working on the same file that will affect the results here. So again, let's comment this one so that we can create our own. That's it. So we have to create something that will receive your requests and of course respond with the expected response. We need to add HTTP route. Okay, and we will add our URL. Okay, in this case I will assume we have API. Okay, create card request. Okay, so I'm going to make it all public. This is just to make it simple as much as possible. Okay, actually there are some other attributes to be added, but I need to generate some errors. That's it. I will not add these attributes right now because I need to generate some errors so that you can know what to do when you find any of these errors. So I'm going to add, let's say, create, and remember to make it descriptive. Okay, here we are. KW, this is the simplest. Return. Okay, it should return. Okay, the car request has been created. Okay, so this is simple. That's what actually I recommend all the time, to start slowly, to move step by step, to make sure that what you did is already what you expect or what you need. Okay, so okay, we already have an error. That route, yes, it's okay, has no attribute route. It seems that we misspell it, so it's okay. This is not what I expected actually. Okay, so the request URL is not there anymore. This is the one I already used before, so we need to replace it with API create car request. And remember that this is the URL we already have here. Okay, this is not the name of the method. Okay, it matches because it's simple and to make it simpler for you. Okay, so if we reload it here, okay, we still have an error, another error. So what is the error here? Okay, I think that we need to restart again. I'm not sure. Okay, let's copy it. I think I might misspell it. Okay, so it's working now. Okay, so let's move on. So let's say that you are sending a request. This can be done by another application, and I will assume that my console in this case will be the other application. So I will move to my Odoo12 virtual environment. If you do not have a virtual environment, please do not hesitate to check the previous videos. Okay, I think it was the first video in this series. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, that I will start my Python and I will import requests. This request is the library or the Python module that you can use to send requests to a URL. That's the same as just sending or let's say starting. Okay, and starting a web page in the browser. Okay, so we have requests here. We have the history here, posts. Okay, and I'm typing everything. No, I don't have to. Actually, I will do this here. So the response is 400. Okay, this is the errors I meant by in the beginning. So you can of course read these details and keep in mind to understand it very well, but to make it short, okay, by passing the CSRF false parameter to the route decorator, you already have the solution here in the error. So what I'm going to do is to add this here. That's it, and restart again. Okay, now we have requests, or let's say to assign this to a variable, let's say response, and we have response now. It's 200, which means that's it, everything done as expected. We have content, the car request has been created successfully. Okay, so in this case we do not have anything here. So between the header of the method and the return statement, you need to add your own logic. Add your own logic. Okay, I'm going to do right now that I will, you remember that in models we already have self dot. This was in the shell. No, it's not here. In the previous video, you remember that we have used some ORM like self dot create, for example, self dot search, browse, and so on. So we are going to do the same, but instead of self dot env car dot request, this is the name of the object we are going to use during this session, the car request dot create, and of course passing the values to be used. Okay, so self here is not used when you are working with the web. Okay, self works only for the backend, and we are when I say backend, I'm talking about the car requests, sorry, the objects in the backend in the model file. Okay, which inherits from models.model. So wherever you have a class that inherits Pythonic inheritance models.model, you need to use self. Okay, but if you are in another class with HTTP controller, this needs to be done in this way: HTTP dot request. Okay, request. Okay, so create. Here you will pass only the values that you need to create this record. For now, I will try to make it simpler as much as possible. Okay, let's assume that we have new car request. So again, we were talking about the values here. The values here, I will just add the required fields that will create this. Okay, this new car request. You can check in 3 ways which are the required fields, because this will never be created unless you have the values. Okay, so the first way is just to have create. Once you click on create, you will have these colored fields, and you will know that these fields are required. So you have these fields here are required. The most accurate way is to, let's zoom in, BSQL car requests is the name of the database. Actually, we have this another table with the same name, which is car request. So this is the name of the database. This is the name of the table. Okay, so we have here not null. If this is not null, it means that will be needed as a required field. Okay, you have a constraint here. You need to keep this in your mind. So the first one, we have the name, employee ID, and car ID. That's it. So to make it simpler, I will add name, let's say it is the first car request. We also need car ID and employee ID. Okay, so for these 2 fields, actually this needs to be, need some logic like searching by name, searching by email, email for employee, maybe something unique in the car that can be sent from the other application, as we mentioned in the beginning, that it might be a mobile application, maybe a Django application, maybe a PHP application that send you something unique in the car, like this plate number, the plate number, or the chassis number, or something like that. And for employee, you might have the email constrained with employee. That's unique email per employee. In this case, you can get the email and do some search and get the ID. For now, I will make it simpler just by adding the IDs explicitly. So we will, okay, let's move here. I will duplicate this tab here. Okay, I will pick an employee. Okay, let's this girl, she's beautiful. We have ID 6. Okay, and also I will pick let's duplicate this again. I will pick fleet. Yes, I love BMW actually. So we have ID 3 for car and ID 6 for the employee. Okay, let's move right here. ID 6 for car, right? Am I right? I think I forget it. No, 6 for employee. Okay, so let's say if new car request, okay, else return no car request. Okay, so by reloading so that these changes can take effect, we have this response here. Okay, we have an error as we expected. Sorry, you are not allowed to create this document. You do not have the permission. You need to force this. Okay, again, to make it simpler, you can force this using sudo, but do not ever do this unless you actually know what you are doing. Do not add sudo for the methods. This will be added directly before the method you are intended to use. Okay, but for now I'm just using this here, but you can make it simpler with other ways, or let's say more secure by other ways. So now let's focus on just sending a request and getting the response. Okay, it seems that everything went fine. We do not have any issues here. If we print response, we have response also dot content. Okay, the car request has been created. We should have a new request for Jenny, okay, to use the BMW. That's exactly, we have the first car request. Jenny will use or ask for the usage of BMW. That's it. You already cared about, you know, the required fields. The starting date here, actually it was built to have this default value here, so you do not have actually to worry about this once you created this request. So whenever you want to do this, I mean to send this request and getting this response, this will work for you. Okay, so let's move forward. What if this data here is really static, that the application, I mean the mobile application, PHP application, maybe Django application does actually will send me the required data for this creation process. So what I need here is to send a JSON request. In this case, you will add type. By default, it's HTTP. This is a default value for type, but we need it to be JSON. Okay, so I think we are ready for this. Okay, and I will print the request. I'm sorry, it should be http.request. Okay, so yes, we also need to add here methods. Post. Okay, so here I will send a post request. You might know the difference between post and get, and also what I'm going to do right now, that I will use post and for a JSON request. So what I'm going to do, I will modify this a little bit. As you can see, we have post here. On the other hand, requests can have get to, okay, as well as post. Okay, so let's focus now. We are going to send JSON with this syntax params. It's a dictionary. The first key params should have more keys and values. This is another dictionary, nested dictionaries. You can think about this as nested dictionaries. So the params here will be the name. Let's say it's a mobile app request. Okay, this is a dummy name. We have the car ID. We agree that the car ID would be 3. Yes. And the employee ID will be 6. Okay. So the last thing here that you need to mention explicitly that you are sending a JSON request. In this case, you need to add headers. Okay, with content dash type. It's application slash JSON. So that's it. Okay, we already sent this request, and it seems that we have a bad request. Now it's not working. So expectation handling request. Yes, I think that we need to reload this application. Let's try this again. Okay, it seems to be fine, and now it's printing the request. Okay, seems everything to be fine. Okay, if you send response.content again, okay, this is what you get. The result is the car request has been created. As you can see, this is a little bit different, okay, from the first one, because this one was just a HTTP of type HTTP. This one is type JSON. This is the difference. Okay, by default it is HTTP, but we want it to be JSON. Okay, so it will return the result as JSON. So let's double check here if we have the car request. The other one was already created. You can check the difference here because of the dates. Okay, so what we really need here is to get KW. Let's check this one too. Why not? Send another request. Here we are. We have a dictionary. I'm not sure if this one is clear, so I will move to the presentation mode. This should make it easier for you guys. So we have here the same dictionary as we already have here. The same thing. And in other words, you can just remove everything here and just keep KW, the one we printed here, as a dictionary. Okay, sometimes you might need to do some validation. To be honest, you might need to do some validation, or maybe to do some change. I mean, by validation, I mean to do some changes in KW. For example, you will get the employee email, but you need to add or to get the employee ID. The same for the car. You might get the plate number, but you need to get its ID. So for now, we have this KW. I will keep it like this. Let's check with another employee. For example, we have this guy here with ID 8. Okay, so I'm going to send a request with employee ID 8. That's it. This is the difference. Okay, we have response dot content. Okay, the car request has been created. Okay, let's check. Okay, it seems that the employee does not have been changed. Okay, why? Oh yes, I think we did not restart again. Actually, this is one of my problems all the time, that I forget to. Okay, this is another request with employee ID. It should be there right now, and here we are. This is Keith Byard, the same guy we already selected in the other tab. So we have already created, the sample request. You just need to, keep your eyes on the routes here. on the all parameters. You can do search to retrieve the data, you can just create, you can do whatever you want. Okay, again, I'm just confirming that sudo is not recommended at all. You just need it. I needed this for now just to force the creation and also to make it simpler for you. You keep in mind that methods will make an effect. Actually, it will affect your request here, so that you can either use post or get. If it's JSON type, by the way, the JSON type will prevent you to use this. Okay, so now it's not allowed for this. It's the same URL, yes, but you have changed the type here to be JSON. Okay, so I think we are done here. Thank you guys for watching.